And I saw this on Twitter. I thought this was very interesting. Funny how not a single Democrat was interested in anyone being held in ICE detention until President Trump came back in office. That's right. They're not principled. Their only principle is being anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, anti-America first. If Obama deports millions of people, if children are in cages under Obama, not a big deal. President Trump, on the other hand, does anything and all of a sudden it gets attention and is the most evil thing ever, even if his Democrat predecessor did the same exact thing.
And what happened out in LA, okay, is showing these Democrats that President Trump is not effing around, okay, that he is willing to use the military in order to conduct the mass deportations. Again, Democrats thought that it was all fun and games when they was out here talking about how we're going to mobilize against the mass deportations. We're going to Trump-proof our states. Well, turned out that that didn't work, okay, and President Trump, again, has shown these Democrats that he's not playing around when it comes to enforcing federal law. Okay, it really is the fault of these Democrats who refuse to cooperate with the federal government. And that's what I think makes it so funny that these same people are basically trying to blame Trump and say, well, it's his fault that you have these rioters and these looters and these agents of chaos and these domestic terrorists committing these acts of violence, right? This is what they say. Out of one side of their mouth, to tell you that the violence is made up. There is no violence, right? It's not happening. But then when they acknowledge that violence is happening, they say, well, it's Trump's fault.
Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. He started this. There should be no violence. He should not continue to support violence.
But to then come here illegally and essentially say, in not so many words, I deserve to be here, so what are you going to do about it? It is what it is. I'm not going anywhere. And that's the situation that we have. The intent was to flood the country with a bunch of illegal aliens, knowing it's going to be almost impossible to get them all out. There'll be all sorts of lawsuits clogging up the process. You have a pro-illegal alien legacy media covering every sob story you can cover, hoping to turn American opinion against deportation, let alone mass deportation. The 2009 senior executive with the SEIU union saying that if we can put millions of people on the path to legalization, we'll have a governing coalition for the long haul. He was a senior VP with the SEIU union. That's the whole game plan. Now, I told you the moment Trump got elected for the second term, the moment he talked about mass migration, what they would do, and you're seeing it play out. You have all these states, including here in California, all these cities, including here in LA where I am, where they are openly, blatantly encouraging illegal aliens to come and stay.
All right, folks, we have another person from Wuhan, another person from China trying to sneak in and smuggle biological materials into a U.S. lab. This just happened the other day, folks. I reported on the other one. This is getting scary. Is there another pandemic, scamdemic, plandemic in the works with China and the deep state? U.S. prosecutors have charged another Chinese national for smuggling biological materials into the United States and lying about the scheme. Han Zhengchuan, a PhD candidate from Wuhan. I don't think China fully appreciates that they're not dealing with Blinken and Merrick Garland. They're not dealing with the old Biden people. They're dealing with President Trump and a new administration. An FBI agent said authorities had intercepted 4 packages of biological materials that Han allegedly sent to members of a University of Michigan laboratory. Once again, this is happening in Michigan. She was the third Chinese national charged in a week for smuggling materials for biological research. The previous 2 accused of smuggling a crop-killing fungus, remember I talked about that, was also through the University of Michigan. The criminal complaint said Han was a Chinese Communist Party member who has shown loyalty to the party. Very, very scary, folks. Not to be an alarmist, but we've caught 3. How many have we not caught? The complaint said Han admitted to shipping an estimated 5 to 10 packages, but several were lost in transit. She said that her professors at both the Chinese and universities had no knowledge of what she sent. Oh, another Chinese person from Wuhan, from China in Michigan, arrested with dangerous biological material. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. We caught them. We got them. But how many have we not caught? How many have we not intercepted? There are lost packages in this particular case.
Well. Look who has decided to delete some of their tweets and walk back some of the comments that they made. I'm talking about none other than the richest man in the world, aka Egghead, Elon Musk. I mentioned in the video that I was hoping that this was just one great troll. I guess not. I guess it really was some beef. Elon Musk said that we went too far. We? I think you went too far, Elon Musk. Was it the one where you called him a fucking child molester? Maybe that's the one you're talking about, Elon. Come out and say it. How about you say, Donald J. Trump, I am so sorry for calling you a child molester, and if it takes the rest of my life, I will purse my lips and press them against your orange butt cheeks. You said that the reason the Epstein files aren't being released and the guest list and the flight logs and all that shit is because Trump's name is on the list, implying that he went to Jeffrey Epstein's list and engaged in sexual activity with people who were not old enough to do so. That's what you were saying, and you fucking know it. And for you to say that you are the reason that he's in the White House, I don't think so, Elon. I don't think your $250 million or you standing up there with a chainsaw had anything to do with it. Yeah, did you have fun? Was it were you a good piece to the machine? Yeah, I guess so. But without you, I don't think Trump would not be in office. I think he still would be, and he still would have won by the landslide that he won by. All the swing states, the popular vote, all that shit. So all of those things that you said, or don't forget, the big beautiful bill is a disgusting abomination, end quote. Is that another one of the things that you said that you regret? And I'm speaking of regret, I bet you one thing. I bet you Trump regrets letting you get so close to the White House and be in the White House and have your son there, be part of the press conferences and all that shit. I bet he regrets that.